In a game that saw Texas Tech shoot north of 60% from three in the first half, it came down to the wire as Texas Tech advances to the Big 12 semifinals with a 76-74 victory over the Baylor Bears. In today's video, we'll recap the game and discuss why the health of the Red Raiders is of the utmost importance right now, and they've got some injuries that they have to address. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast, and Red Raiders are moving on to the semifinals. They'll face off against Arizona or Kansas, the winner of the late night game out in Kansas City on Thursday night. But Texas Tech handled business in a nail-biting fashion against the Baylor Bears to pick up another quad one win and improve their tournament resume and have a chance to play in, well, a game that gets you into the conference tournament title game. And that's something that Texas Tech needs if you want them to be on the 2 line. If you don't, I completely understand, but we'll look at the stats here in just a second. Before we do, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button if you want to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech men's basketball all year long, 100% free. We will be having a live Selection Sunday show here on the channel going live at either 4:30 or 4:45 as the selection show starts at 5 p.m. So if you want your chance to win a $50 home field apparel gift card during the live and know instantly where the Red Raiders are going with instant reaction, this is the channel for you. All right, let's jump into the stats here. I mean, the right side of your screen right now is diabolical and probably gave me a heart palpitation or two. Texas Tech ended this game without scoring a field goal for the final 7 minutes and 26 seconds. They were 1 of 14 on their last 14 attempts from the field. Give credit to Baylor and Scott Drew. They threw a zone at Texas Tech that just created fits for the Red Raiders. I mean, they were putrid offensively, was Texas Tech in the second half. In fact, let's go ahead and look at the stats real quick for the Red Raiders when it comes to the second half. Texas Tech scored 24 points in the second half, people. 24 points. So to tell you how lopsided this was in terms of going from one end of the spectrum to the other, Texas Tech scored 52 points in the first half, right? Obviously, math, right? We can all do it. Some better than others. You better than me, that's for sure. That was the highest scoring first half of the season for Texas Tech. And then Baylor made every adjustment in the book. Texas Tech shot 19.4% from the field in the second half. They had little to no ball movement. It was awful. I mean, it was a total 180 from what Texas Tech was doing in the first half. I mean, it was insane. I mean, in the first half, they were 12 of 19 from three. In the second half, they were 3 of 15. The only reason really they won this game was because Baylor missed shots at the end. I mean, it really came down to that. Now, I do need to talk about other aspects, but let's look at the leading scorer in this one. JT Toppin was sensational. Him and Norchad Omier were just going back and forth at it. And Norchad Omier damn near had a career high if he didn't have a career high. I mean, he was dominant in this game, but so was JT Toppin. They were going back and forth in this one. D5, we'll talk about him a little bit more in just a second, but he had 14 and 8. In this one, Elijah Hawkins had 12 and 11. He had 9 assists at halftime. Unreal type performance by Elijah Hawkins in the first half. And then you had Kerwin Walton, who had 4 made threes, 3 of them right out of the gate. He ended up fouling out in this one. Going to come back on the screen here, and we'll look at the stats more here in just a second. The big thing for Texas Tech in this game, more than anything, in terms of obviously winning is ideal. Right? You want to win as many games as you possibly can. This game goes in and obviously helps your resume. You now have 10 quad one victories on the year. It's nice to have double figures when it comes to Q1 wins, right? But Texas Tech is hurt right now. And you had Chance McMillan. You saw that he had 0 points in this game. He did not play in the second half and left about, I'd probably say 2/3 of the way through the first half. And what is being listed as an ab strain. How severe is it? We don't know. But does he play for the rest of the Big 12 tournament? If you ask me, I hope to sure hell he doesn't. Okay? I need Chance McMillan as close to 100% as possible for the game that Texas Tech hopefully plays next Thursday or Friday, right? Then you've got D5 with a calf injury. He was on the bench for long durations of time in the second half with the massage gun. You had the trainer right there trying to work out that calf. He came in and made a couple of critical plays for the Red Raiders in the second half down the stretch, but you could tell that he was laboring on that calf. Also, Fetty, a knee injury. He had a brace on his left knee, I believe, and he did not play in the second half. Texas Tech was down to 6 guys in the second half. And oh, by the way, you were down to really only 5 when Kerwin Walton fouled out with 5:16 left. Tech was up 7 at that point. So again, the big thing in this one is, again, obviously you play to win the game, right? In my opinion, conference tournaments are cool, but to be honest with you, they don't really mean much to me. Obviously, I'm not on the team. They obviously mean a lot to those guys. But to me, the more critical tournament is obviously the one that starts next week. You have to have these critical pieces if you were Texas Tech, if you want to make the deep tournament run that you were capable of doing, right? No Chance McMillan. You had no Fetty in the second half. You had a maybe 75% D5. And then also, by the way, you lost Kerwin Walton in the second half as well in terms of fouling out with about 5:30 remaining. So you think about that, and to me, I don't know where Texas Tech goes tomorrow in terms of, do they push the envelope? If it's me, I don't know if I want to see Chance McMillan in D5 play. I'm okay with getting to the semifinals from a health perspective. And then, hey, this gives a week off in terms of the next game that we play, potentially at least 6 days, right? I think that's more beneficial to Texas Tech in terms of their long-term goals. And you heard Sean Farnham talk about this when he was commenting on the game. He was the color guy on this one in terms of saying, hey, like, Texas Tech has a real chance to cut down the nets in San Antonio. They are Final Four caliber good. Well, they're only Final Four caliber good if they're healthy, right? Are you good enough with an 80% D5? Are you good enough without Chance McMillan, right? Like, maybe it was precautionary with Chance. We can hope. But at the same time, why not rest him and just allow his body to get as close to 100% as possible? Again, this was a nail biter. It was good to win this game in terms of your resume. And obviously the guys in the locker room want to win these games because they're important, right, to them. Every game is important. But when it comes to the actual big-time goal, right, should they play tomorrow? If you ask me, no. But again, you look at the stats. You won a game where Chance McMillan did not score a point, right? That shows a testament to how good your team is. JT Toppin is a star. We all know that, right? Christian Anderson really didn't do too much in this game. Missed 2 critical free throws down the stretch, and luckily Baylor missed a long 3, a running 3, I should add, by VJ Edgecombe there at the end, and Texas Tech prevailed. Again, winning a game is obviously the utmost importance in terms of the resume, but what is the utmost importance in terms of Texas Tech and their long-term goals? And I know I sound like a broken record with that, but to me, it is resting the guys and making sure they are as close to 100% as possible, because let's face it, not everybody's going to be 100%. And if you are 100%, you're probably not playing college basketball at this time of the year, right? But Texas Tech led this game for 39 minutes and 39 seconds. They never trailed, right? And that was in a game that you didn't have Chance. Christian Anderson didn't do too much. KO was 0 for 7 from the field. He made a couple critical free throws, was really solid on the boards for you. D5 was suffering through a calf strain. You didn't have Fetty in the second half. He played 8 total minutes, right? And Kerwin Walton, as I mentioned, fouled out with 5:16 left in the second half. Overall, again, hell of a win for Texas Tech. Ugly ass second half, if we're being honest about it. Again, when you shoot 19% from the field in a half, most of the time you're not going to win a basketball game, but it tells you how great their first half was, where they shot north of 60% from 3 and had 13 threes in this one. In the first half, Texas Tech actually started off the first half 11 of 15 from 3. Just sicko type numbers. But in the end, Texas Tech beats Baylor 76-74 to move on to the Big 12 tournament semifinals, where they will either play the Kansas Jayhawks or the Arizona Wildcats tomorrow night there in Kansas City. But maybe the biggest talking point of all, and we'll talk about it tomorrow too here on the channel, how healthy is Chance McMillan? How healthy is D5? How healthy is Fetty, right? That is the most important aspect coming out of this game, health, because the real tournament you want to win is next week. The Big 12 tournament's cool, but next week's tournament that starts is vitally, vitally more important. All right. That's going to do it. Appreciate y'all tuning in here to the Back to 12 podcast channel. Again, one more reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell for 100% free Texas Tech content all year long. And hey, be sure to tune into the live Selection Sunday stream that we'll have here on the channel, giving away a $50 gift card to Home Field Apparel to one lucky listener at the very end of the stream. So you're going to want to tune into that. And the best way to be notified, well, is obviously to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell right here on the Back to 12 podcast channel. And as always, you know how I like to end these shows. Stay safe and Recom Tech.